Okay, YouTube, welcome back. We are back with another free-to-play deck list, this time Vendreads. Vendreads was quite tough to make free-to-play, because just a lot of the combos are only viable because you can run these multiple copies of these cards, but the Vendreads were from a mini box, and a mini box means only one ultra rare and only one super rare. So that limits us to one Slayer and one Revenant and one Origin. So a lot of this deck is just trying to make that work. As you can see, I put a list, a King Games list up on the left there, just a recent list. And you can sort of see sort of a more optimum way to build it. And then that can sort of lead into considerations and changes that we had to make from the sort of most optimum build. So we have Slayer. Let's have a look at the ritual monsters. We have Slayer. You can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell. Once per battle, you can banish to gain 300 attack. Banish a zombie from graveyard, gain 300 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard, add one ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send one Vendread monster from your deck to your graveyard. You can only use the effect once per turn. So straight away you can see, well, we only have one Origin. It's a very good ritual spell, but if this gets sent to the graveyard, we can search it from our deck. So if we can find a way of getting this out, we can search the Origin from our deck. Let's move on. Let's move on to Vendread Executor. Ritual summon this with any Vendread ritual spell. It becomes Vendread Slayer while on the field, which comes relevant with when the ritual spells. While this ritual summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot target cards you control with card effects except this card. So it can sort of play around Duel Wield and things like that and take a clash. If this ritual summon card is destroyed by battle or is destroyed by opponent's card effect while in the owner's monster zone, you can add one Vendread card from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Vendread Executor once per turn. So that can be any monster, any spell. You probably wouldn't be running traps. The traps for this archetype are not that good. Lastly, we have Battle Lord, which is a very good ritual monster. You can banish one Vendread card from your graveyard and declare one type of card, monster, spell, or trap. For the rest of that turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects of that type. If this ritual summon monster is sent to the graveyard, add one ritual monster. Add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send one monster from your deck to your graveyard. Only once per turn. So obviously that first effect is, I would say, the main reason why you run this. They can obviously chain to it, but you say, oh, I want to shut off all these traps. I want to shut off your Wall of D. I want to shut off your D prison, your Drowning Mirror Force. And that's really good. But you can also shut off monster effects. If they have a lot of sets you suspect are going to trigger off a monster effect and no back row or very little back row, you can go monster effects instead. This can shut off Magician Girls. You can swing into Magician Girls safely without them triggering their effects. It can shut off spells, but of course if they have a Clash or an Econ, they'll just chain it. It's really good at forcing plays and making it so you can attack into safety. Now this Chimera, when this card effect is activated, when a card effect is activated that will destroy a spell card on the field, destroy a card on the field, quick effect, you can banish one zombie type monster from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this card is tributed or banished for a ritual summon, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. You can only use the effect of Vendread Chimera once per turn. So that's anything that's on the field, on the opponent's side of the field at that time, face up, is going to lose that 500 attack and defense. If it's set, it's unaffected, and it only lasts for what's on the field at that time. So it's not the best, but I'll explain why we're using that a little later on. I'll jump to Revenants. If this card in your possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect, by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, special summon it right back, but banish it when it leaves the field. If you ritual summon using this as material while this is on the field, once per turn you can target that monster gains an effect of once per turn. You can target a special summon monster your opponent controls and banish it. And that's multiple use. as long as that ritual summon monster that you summoned off of this is on the field. Hound Horde, a very similar thing, but its special summon requires a discard of a Vendread monster after it gets destroyed, and you can target a spell and trap your opponent controls and banish it. So it's a different backline effect. This one is you reveal to special summon it back. After damage calculation, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can draw a card and discard a card, so it's a bit of deck thinning. It's not the best though, but I'll explain while we're running it. And Anima. No special summon effect for itself, but you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one of your banished Vendread monsters, except Vendread Anima, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except zombie type monsters. And the ritual effect, banish any monsters destroyed by battle with that card. So let's move on to the ritual spells. We have the 1 Origin and the 3 Evolution. Now, Origin, you must tribute monsters from your hand or field and or banish zombie monsters from your graveyard whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. If a Vendread Slayer you control will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, banish it from your graveyard instead. So it's like a Neos fusion in ritual spell form. It's a equal or exceed, so it's quite flexible. You don't need the exact levels. It protects a Slayer on the field. Now you can see why it would protect a Slayer, but it would also protect an Executor, which is a Vendread Slayer on the field. Now I don't believe this is though. So it would protect your Executor or your Slayer. It would not protect the Battle Lord, and it would not protect a Chimera. But it's a super good card, and that also synergy with banishing zombie monsters from your graveyard is where this comes in. You can special summon what you banish by banishing this card. And if you banish a ritual monster that was properly ritual summoned but sent to the grave, that can then be special summoned back onto the field. So you can start to see the synergy formings. This is another ritual spell card. Tribute monster from your hand or field and or send one Vendread monster from your deck to your graveyard whose total levels equal. So this has to be an exact equal, but you can use your deck. This has to be hand, field or graveyard, can't use the deck. This you can use the deck, but the levels have to be exact. And the ritual summon monster is destroyed during the end phase of the next turn. So in the end phase of your opponent's turn, you know, you summon in your own turn. And it's the end phase of your opponent's turn. You can only activate 1 per turn. So that has synergy with things that you don't mind having destroyed. In particular, the Vendread Battle Lord and the Slayer have effects that trigger after they get sent to the grave. And that happens from Vendread Evolution. And lastly, we have Vendread Knights. It's a field spell. You can discard a card, add any 1 Vendread monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Vendread Knights once per turn. When your Vendread monster destroys an opponent's mind by battle, you can banish 1 Vendread monster from your graveyard, and it can attack again once in a row. If your opponent has no other monsters left on the field, you can't activate that effect. Yeah, it can attack an opponent's monster again 1 in a row. So if you just destroy the last monster, you can't then banish, because if they don't have another monster, you wouldn't be able to attack them. You can't use this to sort of cheat out direct attacks, is what I'm trying to say. But what it can be used for is searching for your Slayer. So this is a way of getting around the fact that we only have 1 Slayer. We can discard anything and add it to our hand. So this pretty much equals a Slayer. And with the Slayer and the Vendread Evolution, once this gets destroyed off of the evolution effect or just from your opponent, you can add a ritual spell from your deck to your hand and send 1 Vendread monster from your deck to your graveyard. Now that is a way of pulling our 1 of Origin. So this is how we're sort of getting around having these bunch of 1-ofs, trying to make them more consistent. And I know because of the combo that you will also want to send Anima to the grave off of that effect. But let's talk about, well, how can we get that initial evolution? That's the tricky bit. Well, we are running 3. It will show up every now and then. But the new revised Master of Rites skill is now in effect. Now, it's not what it says. The skill implementation has happened, but the text hasn't changed, so don't let that fool you. Beatdown will say you can use it multiple times per duel, but at the moment you can't. This says, can be used each time your life points decrease by 1800. During your draw phase, instead of conducting your normal draw a random ritual monster or ritual spell card. Now that's not the effect of Master of Rites. You can look in the info of the skill changes and see it's not the case. What it actually is not 1800 but 1000 damage, and during your main phase you shuffle a card back, you shuffle any card from your hand back to your deck, and then you can pull either a ritual monster or a ritual spell card. So it's not instead of in your draw phase, it's shuffle a card back and grab one or the other, and it's 1000 damage, not 18. So it's a pretty good buff for the skill, obviously, because this is quite bad. Now we need a way of triggering that, right? That's where sort of I was searching really hard and looking for options like, how can I take that 1000 damage and try and pop off and do my combos, to search for evolution, because we would always be picking, 99% of the time we'll be picking up the spell, and when we pick the spell, we've got a 75% chance of grabbing our evolution, and that can then start our combos. If we grab Origin, that's great. We don't need to search for it and do all this convoluted business, but that's where Stegosaurus comes in. It's a little bit of an outlier, I know. During damage calculation, if your opponent attacks you while this card is in the graveyard, you can pay 1000, so that's the 1000 cost that we need to activate the skill. Special summon this card, and if you do, you take no battle damage from that battle, but banish this card when it leaves the field. You can only use the effect of Stegosaurus once per turn. So it's pretty basic when you think about it, but I found that it worked out very well. You take the 1000, it activates the skill. You need it in the graveyard, but you can discard it off of Vendread Knights. You discard this off Vendread Knights to search for your Slayer. Now, during your opponent's turn, you have protection. They'll trigger that protection. You'll be able to pay your 1000, activate Master of Rites on your following turn. That'll give you your evolution. Now we have evolution and Slayer. We can pop off with Slayer. It is delayed. This combo is delayed, but it's possible to do even with these one-offs. So we do that. We attack in, trying to take out a monster. That'll get destroyed on my opponent's end phase. Then we search for our Origin, and we send Anima to the grave. We use Origin to summon either an Executor or a Battle Lord by banishing the Slayer from our graveyard. We special summon that Slayer with Anima. Now, if there's heavy back row, we would ideally want to summon this. We banish, lock down the back row, or lock down monster effects, and safely swing. That's sort of the combos that are happening. And also, if we use these as materials, we can get extra removal benefits. Now, that's enough talking, I think. I'm going to get into some gameplay. So, we're hopping into our first game. I do want to say, as far as viability goes, it's, you know, a less optimum version of an untiered deck. Do you know what I mean? So, it's going to be pretty rough. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the combos that Vendreads can do are only as powerful as they are because they're running these multiple copies. As you can see, we didn't have the best opener. Oh my god, this is the mirror. What are the odds of that happening? We're gonna get run in because he got knights. If we had knights, would that have mattered? Probably not. Because we didn't open up with our Stego. Oh, he's setting though. He's on the defensive. We got evolution. Now, this is on the field, so we can actually knock out... Or I could go 3-3 and 1, right? And get the Anima in the grave. Take out the knights and the back row. No. Because this can only be activated once per turn. So that's not going to work out how I thought it might. So what we're going to do is evolution. We'll still be able to do it once. Let's go for... sending the Revenants to the grave. That's a 4 and 3 makes 7. I could just lock down the back row. And swing in that way. I'm gonna go for the back row. Skills clone, okay. He also had a handhold. I got it off the field. Again, this wasn't a very good opener. We didn't have knights to pull our executor to combo off in that way. Did he just discard Origin? Off of Vendread Knights? Okay, another thing I know from experience, playing this and this being used against me, you can disrupt the Knights by taking it off the field. They don't get that second effect. It needs to stay on the field to resolve and get that effect. And that's what I know just from experience of playtesting. Now we get our Slayer in hand. Do I want the Slayer? Yeah, let's go Slayer. Let's send... Striders? Nah. Well, we'll use this chance to send the Anima. Origin. Oh, you beautiful thing. Are you for real? Oh, that's incredible. That was a top deck and a half. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. So this is where you can see that if we properly ritual summon that Battle Lord, so we could use the Anima we sent to special summon it, and that was game. Whew! We won the mirror. He bricked, though. To be fair, he absolutely bricked. We did manage to disrupt the Knights, which was pretty big to win. Yeah, he's running, he's running pay to win. Have a look at this pay to win deck, guys. Triple skills clone, triple Origin, double Slayer, and the Sonic Bird, and double Revenants, and Mirror Wall. Oh boy. We wrecked him, but he's running the new Master Rights with Cosmic Cyclone, which is ideally a better way of running it. You know, my Stego sub is a bit of a meme. Jumping into the next game, I'm going to try and just probably play 4 games straight. I don't expect to win all of them, so we'll do it live. We'll show all the losses. You know, it's not that they don't exist. I expect to lose more than I expect to win, honestly, with this deck, but this is King of Games. Maybe lower down on a ladder, it'd be more easier to win the games. Now, thank the Lords that we are going second. We have a chance to draw something better to make this hand. Sets. Oh, don't DC. Don't DC. I just said I was going to include everything. A 24 card deck. Yep, not good. Not good. Let me go for Striders. that's really all we can do. So the only decision there was playing Striders or playing Hound Horde. Now, since he seems to have the back row, I want to save this for when I have a ritual spell. Oh my god, it's Hazy's. Can't be targeted. Okay, this is I'm in King of Games. If I can't not run into memes here, like, where do I go? Jesus. Insect Queen. Junior. It doesn't attack me. Oh my Lanta. Is it an insect? No, you can just tribute anything. Oh my god. Insect Queen. We're drawing absolute garbage. This is so good. So what are these tokens doing for it? I know you can tribute and it can attack once again in a row. If he hits me for that 20... Like, his board's clogged right now. If he hits me for that 28... Oh my god, triple back row. Do I want to let it happen though? That's the question. He's going to tribute, attack, tribute, attack. Honestly, I just think I need to let it happen. I need to take some damage to get this spell. Right. This triple back row is going to ruin me though. Oh my god, he didn't even. Well, I need to keep protecting. Let's throw you in there. This is awful. This is what happens when you're a ritual deck with no ritual spells. For sure. So none of the back row activated. It doesn't matter because he gets a token back. It's probably pointless. He's not going for Revenants because he knows he can just attack again. That's the 1,000 we needed. There we go. That is the 1k damage we required. And here's evolution. Now, we need to think about what we want to do here. I really want Battle Lord. No, I really need Executor just to beat over this. I can't get around it any other way. Which means I need to send that away. We picked up another evolution. Oh boy. Oh, you know what? Oh, it's special summon. Oh, I can't. Why not? Strigers is in the grave. Damn. Damn. So Strigers is in the grave. And we can't use graveyard materials for the tributing. While we use the evolution. And because the Strigers is in the grave, and the only way we could make Slayer right now is 4 and 2, we can't make Slayer. So it's Executor. I think we have to do it though. It's unfortunate. We gotta get over this. We gotta take it out, right? He has a floodgate. I mean, this 1k is like triggering our skill. That's the only thing that's happening right now. But like, if he just has enough obnoxious back row to stop us, then there's nothing we can do. He just opened with the absolute nuts, let's be real. We actually get the search guaranteed now. Should we just pull knights? I feel like we should just pull knights. Now let's get the origin. Guaranteed origin. Now, I need you to not have what I suspect you're going to have. No floodgate. No floodgate. Can this be destroyed if there's tokens on the field? At the end of damage state, we just got attacked. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Well, I finally got rid of the damn thing. But like, he's got 4 cards in hand, 3 cards on field. He's gonna have follow-up. This is gonna be rough. It's kind of like meme versus meme here. Although his deck is more memey than mine, for sure. If this duel is going on for a really long time, I might not play as many as I normally would. Do I want to activate Ultron to protect my Slayer because it's going to get destroyed because I used Evolution to summon it? Or do I want to use this chance to search things? I'm going to use my chance to search things, and there is a very good reason why. I'm going to search Evolution. I'm going to send Anima. Now I'm really hoping that I pull Battlelord. That's really what I was hoping. I can lock down that back row in case it's like a drowning. We were in a really bad spot. We're kind of bouncing back here. As said, this isn't meta by any means. Let's just make it so you can't activate traps. I don't want to deal with traps. And we can banish anything. We can banish these. They're no good to us anymore. Let's hope you had a drowning. I want to check the list and see if you had drowning. Because it wasn't activating while you had monsters on the field. So like, what else would it have been? What else could it have been? We'll play one more. For the sake of not dragging it out too long and making a hour-long video. There was one drowning. He already used Floodgate. So it could have been some bluffs, but there was probably a drowning in there. And we shut it off with Battlelord. That's why Battlelord is so good. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Again, it was a way that it clapped back eventually, once it started getting its spells. But its matchups in the meta is probably not that great. You know, I'm not really versing meta decks right now, but if I'm not running into meta and king games, like, what do you want? Okay. Let's have a look here. Nothing huge that I can do right now. Just take it slow. Discard the Anima. Let's get our Slayer in hand. I don't want to leave myself open. I'll just set Strategies and go from there. He's running Jaden Yuki. Didn't see a skill yet. Could just be Tidal Binds. Does Jaden have Tidal Binds? I don't actually know. I feel like he does. Oh, it's Metaphys. Oh boy. Oh, that's fun. We have Evolution though. Oh, he needs to be careful. Nope, I lose. Did that just screw me? Yeah, it did. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. I'm still good. I'm still good. Oh. No, that's fun too. That's fun too. I thought he was going to banish the 2, so I could no longer go 4 and 2 and make this. But if I had the Knights, I could just discard the Slayer, and I could still use Evolution to summon the Slayer from the grave. And then I would just get the right material I needed to summon it. But he didn't do that. Now what I need to do, he didn't special summon either. So I was thinking I could put this on the field, then summon, and banish anything that he tried to do. Having Knights would have been better, I think. think it would have been better. Because this dimension's really gonna screw me. I can draw and discard. This is bad. This is bad. Let's not mistake it by any means. This is bad, but I have to sort of dump my whole hand here. I wouldn't say it's the only play I have, but it's a play. I don't want to use that draw and discard effect in case I pull a ritual spell. Is he gonna special summon? Does he not know what this does? Oh, I banish it again. Oh no, it's Metaphys. Oh, I would go up against that bad of a matchup. So in the damage calculation, I can banish to gain 300 attack. It's not really relevant. That's the draw and discard effect, which we don't want to do. Now, all he needs to do is banish a card, banish this, so it doesn't get sent to the grave and I lose. So I had fun. I mean, you gotta expect, you know, off-meta, worse versions of off-meta decks to lose. It's gonna happen. And on top of that, our best form of removal is something that works out really well for this matchup. Or for them, I should say. And on top of that, their removal shuts me down completely. It's like... I'm sure there were worse matchups, but none's coming to mind right now. That's Chimera. We'll let it... Well, you know what? This is the last game. We'll let the Metaphys player do his thing. I know it's boring to watch. Wait. It's boring to watch. No, you don't get the satisfaction. We're ending that off there. So, because the games were a lot longer, that tends to be the case with like ritual focused decks. I'll only play a few games. Just so you don't get too bored. Again, this is not great. But as far as free to play goes, you can get off your combos pretty consistently. We got a bit unlucky there with not getting Knights. Knights can really facilitate your plays in most games. Discarding this, searching for this, then you take your 1000, pop off. I had a lot of fun with this deck, but again, I just think meta matchups wise, it's not as good as some of the other decks that I've been using, especially Despots, and there are other free to play decks you can use. But I just want some variety with these videos. And I feel like it's not terrible. You could use it in lower ranks and do pretty well. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Not sure what I'm going to do. I'll think of something. Peace.